Welcome to the first section of the Service Experience Training, General Trip Information. In this section, I will briefly guide you through the information that is here and why it's important for your trip. And before I do that, let me point out that this section is the only section that is not its own standalone meeting. Travel information comes in over time, and so rather than having one meeting set aside for general updates, we assume that this will be incorporated each time your group meets. My encouragement is that you only let conversations about travel information take up a small portion of your time. It's easy to get bogged down in the details of a trip and not have time to engage in the other important parts of this preparation. So set aside 10 or 15 minutes each meeting to review any new travel information. The first page is the welcome page, which gives a brief overview of the entire material and lets participants know what to expect for each section. Team members, in this section we have each member give their name. Remind participants to make sure they write down the name of those traveling so that they can be praying for them. An itinerary section is here so that you can put flight information. This is good information to share with family and friends about where you'll be going. Oftentimes when you arrive in a country, on visa forms, they will ask for a location you're visiting. So make sure to keep this packet with you on the flight and not in your checked luggage so that once you enter, you can enter this information upon your arrival. So make sure to check with those you're visiting about what information you should write on your visa for your contact information, especially in cases when you're traveling to security-sensitive countries. Take time to write down other names and numbers you might need. You never know when your cell phone charger won't work and you might not have access to the contact information you want. We offer a very general packing list. This is a list is great as you go through things you pack to make sure you haven't missed anything, but make sure you ask your trip leader to supplement this with destination-specific travel lists. On our resources page, we offer some reading and website suggestions for those who want extra ways to learn. We put the most helpful resources first. In regards to health and wellness, we don't give out specific medical suggestions, and I would suggest that you have each member meet with their physician rather than risk giving incorrect medical advice. On this page, we do offer some quick tips for jet lag and DVT. They're simply meant to be reminders. Flights are long and time changes mess with sleep, and staying healthy will make a difference on your trip. For payment plans, we offer a generic payment grid that you can fill in with dates and costs associated with your specific trip. In general trip guidelines, we offer a few specific guidelines for travel. Now, these guidelines are extremely difficult to create when the kinds of places a team go vary widely. The hope here is, one, to give some thoughts to actions that someone may not realize are culturally inappropriate, and two, to give a starting point for further dialogue. Make sure you email the missionary or national leader that is hosting you and ask if there are other things that you and your team should be aware of as you travel. Here are some important things to note. One, talk about relationships. The way that you interact in a country doesn't just reflect on you, but it reflects on those you are visiting. So learn what is appropriate and what is not. Two, talk about food. It may seem simple, but food and meals are central to hospitality in many cultures. Talk about what you wear. Remember, churches may have different standards than the country in general. Also talk about how to give offering at a church service without overloading the church for that week. As a leader, I would encourage you to be in charge of any money given to individuals. Remember that money is often the most divisive thing that we bring with us. Talk about knowing your surroundings. Talk about keeping your passport safe. And I would suggest that you have an extra copy. It may also be good to keep a copy on your email so that you can access that copy anytime you need it. Finally, talk about being present. Technology is good, but don't let it distract from personal human interactions. Visiting a partner is a great honor. You are entering their world, a world that they love and have dedicated their life to engaging with, whether a missionary or a national. So help your team process ways to be good guests. Thanks for listening and travel safe.